Have you ever realized you're there for everyone except yourself? It was a rainy Tuesday evening in late fall, the kind where the sky just dumps everything it's been holding back, and I was sitting in my cramped apartment kitchen staring at my phone like it was a ticking bomb. The screen lit up for the 5th time in 10 minutes. Another text from my cousin begging me to drive across town to help her move some furniture. Again, I'd already said yes to 3 favors that week: fixing my neighbor's leaky faucet at midnight, covering a shift for a coworker who forgot her kid's soccer game, and listening to my best friend vent about her breakup for hours while my own dinner went cold. My head was pounding, my eyes burned from lack of sleep, and in that moment something inside me snapped. I hurled the phone across the room. It bounced off the wall with a crack and burst into tears, collapsing onto the floor. Why can't I just say no? I sobbed to the empty room. I was 32, single, buried in debt from helping everyone else, and I hadn't taken a day for myself in years. That night I hit rock bottom, realizing I'd become everyone's doormat, and it was killing me from the inside out. Let me take you back a bit. My name's Sarah, and I grew up in a small town where family meant everything. Too much sometimes. My mom was the queen of yes. Yes to baking cookies for the church bake sale at 2 a.m. Yes to driving my aunt to the airport even if it meant missing work. Yes to loaning money we didn't have. That's what good people do, she'd say with a tired smile, her hands always busy, her own dreams shoved into a drawer somewhere. I watched her fade away like that year after year until one day she just broke. Heart attack at 55, gone before I could say goodbye. The doctor said stress played a part, but I knew it was more than that. It was the weight of everyone else's needs crushing her own. I swore I'd be different, but here I was, repeating the cycle. Available to everyone, invisible to myself. After that phone-throwing meltdown, I didn't sleep. I paced the apartment, replaying every sure no problem I'd uttered like a bad habit. The next morning, bleary-eyed and raw, I called in sick to work, first time in forever, and drove to the beach alone. It was off-season, empty except for the waves crashing like they were angry at the world too. I sat on the cold sand, wrapped in an old blanket, and let the salt air sting my face. That's when I met him. Old Mr. Harlan, this weathered guy in his 70s, fishing rod in hand, humming some old tune. He didn't say much at first, just nodded hello and cast his line, but something about his quiet pulled words out of me. I spilled it all. The endless favors, the resentment bubbling under my skin, how I felt like a ghost in my own life. He listened, reeling in a small fish that he gently tossed back. "You know, Sarah," he said finally, his voice gravelly from years of sea wind, "I was like you once. Ran a little hardware store in town. Folks came in not just for nails, but for advice, loans, even rides home. I'd drop everything, close early, skip meals, thought it made me indispensable. But one day my wife sat me down and said, 'Joe, you're giving away pieces of yourself like they're free samples. Soon there'll be nothing left for us.' Hit me like a gut punch." He paused, staring at the horizon. She was right. I started saying no, not mean like, just firm. Can't today, got my own fish to catch. People grumbled at first, but guess what? The world didn't end, and I got my life back. His words stuck with me like glue. I drove home that day with a spark of something new. Hope, maybe? But change isn't a switch you flip. It's a muscle you build. The first test came that weekend. My sister called, frantic. "Sarah, the babysitter bailed. Can you watch the kids just for a few hours?" My heart raced. Old habits die hard. But I took a breath and said, "I'm sorry, Jen, I can't tonight. I've got plans." She was stunned, pushed back a little, but eventually said okay and found someone else. No apocalypse, just space. For me, bit by bit, I practiced. I turned down a group chat invite from work friends who only messaged when they needed venting sessions. I stopped answering calls after 9 p.m., letting voicemail handle the late-night crises. And yeah, it hurt at first. Some people drifted away, calling me selfish or distant. My cousin stopped texting as much after I said no to another move. But the ones who mattered, they stuck around, and our relationships got deeper because they weren't one-sided anymore. I started filling that empty space with me, reading books I bought years ago, joining a yoga class where I actually showed up for myself, even taking a solo trip to the mountains. For the first time, I felt solid, like I wasn't dissolving into everyone else's chaos. There was this one moment that sealed it for me. About 6 months in, I got a promotion at work, something I'd been chasing but never had the energy for because I was too busy playing savior. My boss said, "You've been focused lately, Sarah. It's showing." That night, I celebrated alone with a glass of wine and a long bath, no guilt attached. But the real win came when my best friend called, not in crisis, but just to check in. "Hey, you seem happier," she said. "What's different?" I told her about my boundaries and she paused, then laughed softly. "Good for you. I need to try that." Looking back, that rainy night on the kitchen floor was my wake-up call, a shocking low that forced me to rise. I learned that being available to everyone isn't kindness, it's self-erasure. And the world, it keeps spinning without you holding it up. The powerful lesson here is this: saying no isn't about closing doors, it's about opening the ones that lead to your own life. Protect your time, your energy, your heart. They're not infinite. When you stop being everyone's changes everything. You become your own someone. And that's where the real magic happens. Trust me, if I can do it, so can you. Start small, say no once today, and watch how your world expands. You've got this.